success of cities. That's what we come to all issues through that lens. And that's what we want to know. We built a body of work that includes 4 major pieces that I'll just point out to you. You can't read this, but first is City Vitals. I'll talk a little bit about that. I want to at least mention City Success, which was a look at all of the theories that are operational today, Mayor, on how cities succeed. And what we did is we showed all of those theories, which ones really are appropriate to which cities based on their assets. And there are a lot of mismatches out there. City Advantage is something I'll talk briefly about, as I will talk about city dividends. So let's start with City Vitals, because this is really the organizing framework for the discussion today. What we know is that to be successful in the knowledge economy, cities have to be really good at 4 things. Those things are talent, connections, distinctiveness, and innovation. And those are the 4 themes that we're going to deal with today. We also know that when the core is vibrant and vital, that becomes an accelerator for all 4 of these success dimensions. So you'll hear us talk about talent, connections, distinctiveness, innovation. We're going to work in all 4 of those areas today and talk about some of the burning questions that cities have in those 4 areas. I also want to just take you briefly through City Advantage. The notion that cities come with natural advantages. If you saw in the last group's work yesterday, we had a principle, a design principle of don't undermine the city's natural advantages. Those advantages are variety. Cities offer up a wide range of value choices. They provide more convenience. There are more opportunities at hand. They provide discovery, so they expose you to more opportunities that you may frankly not even know that you're looking for or you're interested in. That could be food, that could be jobs, that could be friends, that could be all sorts of things, ideas. But cities do that better than any place else. And then opportunity, access to jobs, education, and smart people. But as John Norquist knows, we keep screwing it up because we keep undermining what really are the city's natural advantages, which are density, mixed use, vibrant streets, etc., all the things that C&U has pioneered for us once again, and we sort of sprawl all over the place. So one of the things to capture these advantages, it's important that cities provide, again, that density, the mixed use, the basic foundational things that we know make cities good places to be. I want to just tell you briefly about one more piece of research that we think is very special. It's called City Dividends. We introduced it last November. What we were looking for were a few places where cities could make reasonably small improvements in performance that would produce very big financial gains. And we found 3. The first is talent, so I'm cycling back to this talent issue. The first is talent, and we define the talent dividend as a 1 percentage point increase in college attainment. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. The opportunity dividend, which is a 1 percentage point decrease in poverty, and the green dividend, which is a 1 mile reduction in vehicle miles traveled. And if you could do all 3 of those things, make those small improvements, gains in performance, in the top 51 metro areas, the metro areas with 1 million or more people, it's worth $166 billion annually to the U.S. And that's, we joke, we say that used to sound like real money. But consider the fact that we don't have to borrow. We have to make small improvements in performance to get it, and we can get it every single year and then build on this base and get more. I think it's pretty impressive, and these are big numbers. However, if you look at the talent dividend, the green dividend, and the opportunity dividend, what's really driving the number is talent. Of that $166 billion annual gain, $124 billion of it is represented by that increase in talent. That $124 billion annually represents additional per capita income, Jim, that we can project from that increase in talent. So talent, basically, Joe will tell you that talent, the presence of talent, and we describe that as college-educated people. We know other people are talented. It's simply what we can measure. But the presence of college-educated people in any city's population explains 58% of its success. That is significant. In other words, if you're not playing in that game, if you want to be a successful city and you're not playing in the talent game, you're really not playing. Here's the problem. Cities have been in more of a race to sort of win talent from one city to another, move talent from one city to another, than they have been in the development game, the development of talent game. So right now, you know, the last, I'd say, 5 years, certainly, all the conversation has been about how do we attract the creative class, or how do we attract young adults. It's not been so much about how do we develop talent. And of course, it's fine to attract talent to your community from someplace else. It's just not a net win for the nation. So we've been putting a lot of emphasis on how to increase college attainment. Let me just show you, this is the only, this is the next to the last slide, but I do want to point out something. There are pretty big variations among metro areas in educational attainment. At the top, you've got the places you would expect: Washington, San Jose, San Francisco, Boston, Raleigh, Austin are at the top. At the bottom are Riverside, California, Las Vegas, Louisville, Memphis, San Antonio, Tampa. So what we like about the talent dividend is, you know, you sort of make gains for wherever you begin. So that's, there's an advantage there. So I would just, that may be it. I think that's the last slide I have. So I appreciate the opportunity just to give you the quickest of overviews. If anybody wants to ask questions about this, we can, you know, seek me out, seek Sheila out, Joe out, Rebecca, any of our staff, and we'll be happy to tell you more about it. But again, just to frame up the city vitals for us today and why we're